So, a very happy new year to you. It's been a little while since you've seen me on screen. I wish I could see you guys too. I know that a lot of podcast creators always apologize for not being as active as they promised, but I guess I never really promised. This podcast is a hobby, and I wouldn't even say this is totally a podcast episode. It's just sharing some thoughts, and I hope that it inspires you as well because it's been a topsy-turvy few kind of months as I made a big move to another part of the province. It's absolutely beautiful here. There's like wonderful things happening, but I had two senior dogs I was taking care of. I didn't get a chance to really get out into the community a whole lot in the first few months. And sadly, those two senior dogs have now passed. And that was really difficult, actually, because obviously dogs are so precious and losing a pet is already a lot. But the fact that those dogs ran my life, like everything revolved around them. I couldn't leave them home alone. It was just all consuming. When the first one passed away, when little Scouty passed away, I still had Biscuit. And so I didn't even really get a chance to really mourn her because Biscuit still needed so much care. But then when they were both gone, it was like, wow, this house is so empty. And actually, the house is even more empty now. It's just me and the cat because my daughter, because we didn't get out in the community that much. Yeah, my daughter had a great summer job, but it came to an end. And then she didn't feel so connected here. And she's spending the winter with her dad, which I'm really happy about because they're rebuilding their relationship. And she's also getting out with her friends more, which wasn't happening so much before we moved. Coming here and her having that summer job and really coming out of her shell was so great. So now I'm here all alone with my precious kitty cat, and I try not to smother her too much because the more I smother her, the more she seems to be very dependent on me. And I don't want to create another situation where there's separation anxiety like the other two dogs had and stuff like that. So we are being besties, but I'm also trying to keep things a little more detached so that we can be independent creatures. But the topic of today is winter hobbies. And I remember quite a few months ago, my very kind neighbor told me summer's great and the winter is good too, except for it's really long. She says, you need to get hobbies. And at first, I can entertain myself, no problem. But I see what she means, especially given the fact that even though I do get out in the community a little bit more and I am starting to meet people, I have joined the women in business group that's around here and they're absolutely awesome. But it's still a lot of time at home, reconnecting and figuring out what I want to do with all those hours of time because now there's not family in the evening and stuff like that. It's totally different. So there's a few things I've been doing. And obviously, I live in a beautiful area. So getting out and seeing more things, going on drives, like you could just drive for hours around here and you'll just be in awe and you'll see new things all the time. But also getting out and walking and hiking. The cat and I actually went to a local waterfall. It's up on the Snowmobile Mountain, but it's just a walking trail that it had because the cat does like to be outside. She goes in her little backpack. And I did put her on her leash for a little while, but it was snowy. She's okay with touching, but she's not totally into that. She was a little bit scared, but when you keep her in the backpack, she's really happy. I'm doing stuff like that. Obviously, you got to get out, you got to exercise. Daily yoga is still a thing for me. It always will be because it's so good for us in so many ways. But then I'm trying to think of other hobbies today. I'm going to the library for the first time in years. I haven't been to the library since my kids were little. That doesn't mean I don't read. It means I was buying books and stuff. But I'm like, you know what? Go to my local library, be a little more connected with the community, and also not having every single book at my fingertips. You go into Amazon and you can pick anything you want. You can search for anything. But going to your local library, obviously, I can order books from other libraries, but you work with what's there. And I think that has been a great exercise in moving into a smaller town. Also, like with groceries or living with fewer people in the house too. You don't have this abundance of ingredients and things that you're buying. I have to go fairly far to pick up groceries, like the big shop. The local shop has lots of stuff, but it's quite expensive. So that's a bit of a waste. So you learn to go with what you have. And that's been a big lesson for me. And I wrote about that in a recent blog post. But other hobbies, obviously, this podcast can be a hobby. And I don't know that this is exactly what I want to do a lot because I have been feeling more introspective and quiet and not wanting to really talk so much. So I also started exploring the world of AI music. And I know some of you might be thinking, AI music, you're not really making music. You're not a musician. I know I'm not a musician. I absolutely am not. What I'm actually exploring is creating moods and sounds, like for focus or for lifting the mood, turning more inward, like for music that not just sounds good, but it supports different introspective activities. So that's been super fun. And I started learning about it from Ken Blutman's little program. He created something to show you how to get into this. And I found it quite helpful. And then I dug into ChatGPT and got some help. And I'll show a link to some of my favorite playlists that I've created. And perhaps you'll find them useful as well. But the funny thing is that when I think about hobbies, I love to watch shows. People say that's wasteful, but I love it. I think learning through stories, whether they're true stories or fictional stories, we learn so much about people. And they're a real great exercise in empathy, which always helps us no matter where we are, no matter what that Elon Musk guy says about empathy is the end of civilization. Dude, you're the end of civilization. I do find that a lot of my hobbies are reflecting around screen time. So I am going to try to work on that, but I'm also not going to fight it very much if I enjoy it, right? But I do need time to unwind at the end of the day, get away from a close screen. So that's where the books are going to come in, holding books in my hand instead of just audiobooks or digital books, ebooks, and stuff like that. It's fun, and every day is going to be different. I have a lot of time right now. So a lot of that's going to be focused on really building up the business, working on our website builder, Numu, and eKidHub University, but also developing this other creative stuff, no matter where it is, on paper, by reading, by creating digital things. And I absolutely love it. And I think that's important. Even if your life is full and you are busy a lot and you don't get as much time, you still need to find those things that are just for you, that aren't work, that are just you. Consuming is good, but I also think creating is really an amazing thing that develops you personally and also connects you with others when you're sharing those connections. So I'd love to hear what your winter hobbies are. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, your summer hobbies, or what you do actually in the winter, because those days can take long. The days are shorter, technically speaking. I hope that this check-in finds you well. Let me know what you've been thinking about. I do still want to do episodes about morning routines. I know I got a lot of submissions from you guys about your own morning routines that are sometimes chaotic and like maybe you need a little help with. And I think that will likely be the very next thing that I do. I'm not sure when. It could be very soon. It could be in a little while. But do keep up on the blog as well. I've been posting some stuff there when I don't feel like talking. And either way, let me know what's up with you, what you're working on, what you're looking forward to, what you need help with. Because this is still technically the Dear Alice series of podcasts. I would love to help you think of ideas of things that you might need a little help with, whether it's in your life or in your business. I'm not perfect, but sometimes a perspective from someone else who's able to see things in a lot of different ways can be really helpful. Until next time, I hope you have a fabulous one.